Can Westbrook win a championship in OKC?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, if you're the Thunder, you still got to do everything you can to keep him. I mean, this is a top 10 guy, probably a top 5 guy. I know he's the MVP of the regular season, the less meaningful of the 2 seasons. But I get all that. Second season means something. That's the one where you actually win a championship, so that's what we're talking about. Can he win one in Oklahoma City? And the answer has to be no. I mean, he won 1 game in the playoffs this year. 1 against the Houston Rockets. 1 game. The Thunder are already over the cap. Should they re-sign Westbrook like they need to? They're over the cap. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The team you see right now, can that win a championship? The one we just watched win 1 game. Does that team win a championship?
The guy standing behind him last night?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, John, doesn't take this long. Come on.
No, they can't win in the immediate.
All right, then how do they make it better?
Well, they get Brian Shaw to become the head coach, and they run the triangle offense. I don't know how you win, but can they win? I think if they you're right, they're over the cap, so they can't use any money. But if they did certain trades and certain people, and they had a certain mentality, I think they could definitely make some damage. They really did some great things when KD was there, and they had a pretty good nucleus. And if they would have held that together, they could have been in that position. But they let that fall apart with Ibaka leaving. I think you can't get rid of the defenders and the big guys that make these guys feel comfortable in being, I guess, what's the word I want to say? These guys, when you can take risk up front. Right now, you see Westbrook doing every single thing he can possibly do. I don't know if they can win the championship, but I think they can put a great team around them and they can go further in the playoffs. And like you said, you have to be patient. In Oklahoma, you can be patient, not in Los Angeles.
Coach?
No, look, you guys make great points. Look, there's a reason that Kevin Durant left. It wasn't by accident.
No.
Look, Kevin Durant was the MVP of the league. Now this young man's the MVP of the league. And the same thing happened to both of them. They can't win a championship. They were close with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
They got close, and some people say, well, he shouldn't have left because he could maybe have won, but at the end, there was so much pressure on Kevin Durant because he's the MVP, he's this great player. You know, these players all of a sudden have pressure on them to win championships. And when they can't see themselves doing that, they go, where can I go? Where do I need to go to try to win one? And right now, if you're Russell Westbrook, you just become the MVP. You've taken your team to the playoffs, and there's the difference between being a star player, an all-star player, and a great player. See, that's why LeBron James is a great player.
Yeah.
Because he can take 4 other guys and say, get on my back, we're going playoffs. We're going to be in the finals. That's what LeBron James does. But no one else do that but LeBron James, by the way. I don't see anybody else doing that. Just LeBron James does that. So the rest of these guys figured it out, say, you know what? Look, I stay here. I'll win my 50 games. You know, we'll win 50. And the fans will be happy when we get in the playoffs. We're going to exit pretty quick. That's what happened to him. This is why he's the MVP. If you listen to your eyes all season this year and you watch Russell Westbrook play, he was a guy that, whether you liked OKC or not, you watched him play.
Right.
I mean, you just listen to your eyes and you go, watch this guy play. Look how you want young kids to play like this. You say, watch how this guy plays. That's all you cared about. That's why he's the MVP. I mean, you don't have to be Oklahoma fans. I just want to watch him play. Because I know how hard this guy's going to play, right? That's why he's the MVP. And he took a team basically without Durant there. Durant left. He's the second best player in the league. He left and says, hey, I'll take this team to the playoffs. Watch. And he did it. That's why he's the MVP.
Okay, so you're saying that he can't win a championship.
No, he needs to go to Lakers.
But we live in this super team world. Okay.
Go to the Lakers.
So my question is, what is better for the NBA? If he stays in OKC, creates, I guess, a little more parity on the second tier level.
It's always
or
better.
Goes to another team.
It's always better that he stays for the league.
For the league.
It's great. Jersey sales are important. And the league has done a great job of parity throughout the league. But it has. Now it's gone back to the old dominant here. But they had spread it out. Remember, all of a sudden, it was OKC was better. Memphis showed up. Toronto showed up.
San Antonio's always going to be in the mix, right?
Sacramento didn't get anywhere. Too bad for Boogie. But they had moved it around. They had spread the wealth. And now they have Minnesota spreading the wealth. I just don't think that that's going to happen.
I want to put a little bit of meat on these bones. I mean, you said, and Coach, you acknowledged, we all have to acknowledge, they were close. They were good when they had KD.
Yeah.
When they had
right.
inarguably the second best player in the NBA, and some would say the guy who's on his way to passing LeBron James is best player in the NBA, when they had him.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't have him.
No.
So how do you get him back? I just want to give you these numbers. The cap next year, I think, is supposed to be roughly $102 million. That's right, Cassidy?
Down, yeah.
$102 million. That next year, the Thunder are projected to have a payroll of $112 million before you sign Westbrook to whatever mega deal he gets. Where's all that money going? Enes Kanter, $17 million, almost $18 million. Victor Oladipo, $21 million. Steven Adams, $22 million. It goes to the next year, too. They're that far over the cap with the same guys the next year. So how do you get this better for Russ? You can't trade Oladipo for Kevin Durant. I'm sorry.
You know, I need a time machine. I need to get in a time machine.
And that time machine should go back to when they got rid of James Harden.
You can't do it. But as for what should happen, the NBA, you're right. They need him to stay for one reason only. They created the designated player exception so that you could create homegrown talent.
Right.
That if a guy either wins an MVP like Russ did last year, or he's been at the same team for 10 years, or he meets certain metrics, you can blow him out of the water with money. If Russ turns that down, if Russ says, guess what, I don't need extra $50 million. I want out of OKC so bad that $50, $60 million, over 5 years extra. If he says, I don't need that, that's a huge blow to the NBA's rules of keeping guys where they want. It's not bad on creating super teams. What we need is more super teams, not less. We need 5 or so super teams.
Well,